Hey gang, it's Julie here, Julie Creffield, the No Bullshit Life Coach, and I'm here today to talk to you about stories. So, my mum would always say what a storyteller I was when I was a kid, and by that she meant that I lied, basically. But I don't ever think I did lie. I feel like I expanded the truth and added to things to make it more kind of interesting. But I've always been a bit of a storyteller, and I'm always the one in like friendship circles to go, do you remember the time? Like, or, I'd always retell stories of things that happened, and always tell them in a really kind of funny, kind of creative, impactful way. Like, I just get a buzz out of telling stories. And stories can be great for inspiring people and for reminiscing and for seeing the good in life. But stories are also really powerful in terms of kind of reaffirming negative stuff that goes on in your life and choosing to kind of mould a story to suit kind of the outcome that you want it to serve, if that makes sense. So like, sometimes you'll retell a kind of, a breakup story, after the event. Like, I don't know, like you're say like you break up your partner or whatever, and then you look back on kind of moments or holidays or times that actually were all right, but because you split up, you're like, oh yeah, and he was a right arsehole then, and, he never paid his way, or, maybe those stories are true, but at the time you didn't think it, you didn't see those things then, and now you decide to kind of use that as a way of kind of reaffirming kind of your beliefs about certain things. And it's fine if it's fine with all the kind of boyfriend, ex-boyfriend stuff. I mean, that's cool and it's fun. But I think the problem is when we start using those stories about ourselves. So, I have to really check my stories. Like, I have to really check kind of the self-talk that goes on in my head all the time. Like, I had this story about being really bad at maths, and there's an element of truth in it. Like, I failed GCSE maths twice, and I've got so many stories of getting dates wrong and times wrong and not being able to add up. So when I'm in a bad mood about finances, I'm like, oh well, it's because I'm bad at maths. It's because I'm crap at maths. I can't add up. But then when I look at kind of the fact that I'm an entrepreneur, I run two businesses, and I understand my finances, and I budget, and I make profit, and, I never get ripped off in the supermarket. So, I can't be that bad at maths. And I kind of feel like when you repeat the negative stories, they become a self-fulfilling prophecy, because that's what you look for, don't you? You kind of look for things like that. And I could look back and go, yeah, and there was that time where I got ripped off, and then there was that time that I got the dates wrong, and like I can look back and find all of those stories, or I can choose to find the stories where I got the maths right without having to use a calculator, or do you know what I mean? Like, you can find those stories, and I think when you use stories like, I'm not good enough, or I'm so stupid, or I always make the same mistakes, or I'll never be slim, I'm stupid. It's really hard to come back from those when the stories are from you. Like, I think if the stories are from other people, if other people are telling you that, it's a bit shitty, but you get to choose what you kind of let in and what you let out. But if the stories are already coming from inside, it's really difficult. It's really difficult to overcome them and to change the record, because ultimately that's what we need to do, ladies. We need to change the record that's going on in our heads, because how can we expect other people to treat us nicely if we're not treating ourselves nicely? So I'm going to ask you the question today, like, what stories are you telling yourself? What negative stories do you like to go over? Which stories, those bad, negative, make yourself feel shitty stories, do you actually enjoy telling? Because they serve you, they keep you in your comfort zone. You go, oh, I'm one of those people, I sign up for things and then I never do them. That's just a story. You get to choose. You get to change kind of that story. You get to do things differently. And every day that we wake up, we get to tell a new story. We get to do things differently. We get to build up like a catalogue of stories. So even if you've got a track record of always going out with arsehole men, literally the next man that you meet could be the right nice one, and because you choose well and you choose to kind of respect yourself and not go out of an arsehole, you get to change the story. And you may look back and go, that was the moment I decided to change my story and to change my life. So yeah, I'd love to know what you think. What negative stories do you have about yourself, and are you ready to change them?